I'm building a fast, powerful desktop Windows 11 computer. In the video description below, there's a link to the step-by-step build of that computer. In this video you are now watching, I will focus only on how I install two Western Digital SN850X 2TB SSD drives, then how I go into the BIOS of the motherboard and set it up to accept RAID1 SSD drives. Next, I show how I install Windows 11 Pro, and finally, how I install GIGABYTE-Control-Center software. Join me in this video. This is the Western Digital Black SN850X NVMe SSD drive. This is a 2TB Gen 4 PCIe 4.0 SSD drive. Let's open it up. The drive is sandwiched in a plastic container. It has a serial number and I've just taped out the serial number. The reverse side is all black. There is a document. So I have two identical drives that are set up in RAID 1 mirroring configuration. I will now install the two SSD drives to the motherboard. Remove the heat sinks that cover the M.2 connectors. First, I remove the heatsink to the M2C-CPU connector. I push the easy latch click lock clockwise to remove this heatsink. Similarly, push the lock clockwise to this easy latch click to remove this large heatsink plate. This M2C-CPU connector is the only one that caters to PCIe 5.0. Hence, it has widest allowance for the 25110 or 2580 PCIe SSD drive. All the other connectors only support 22mm wide SSD drives, and so their separation is narrower as they support type 22110 or 2280 SSD drives. Initially, I thought because the manual specified this M.2 connector supports PCIe 5 of type 2510 or 2580 SSD drives, it did not say that it could support the narrower 22110 or 2280. However, because the PCIe 5.0 standard is backward compatible to PCIe 4.0, I should be able to fit a PCIe 4.0 SSD drive into this connector and fit a second one into this connector. The reason is these two M.2 connectors connect directly to the CPU, whereas all the other M.2 connectors connect via the south bridge. And because these two SSD drives mirror each other in RAID 1 configuration, I'd rather they have the same data path for reasons of speed. So first thing is I'll peel off this protective film on the bottom heatsink. Oops, I made a mistake. I actually peeled off the actual heat transfer layer, not just the protective film, so I'll put this back slowly. I've repasted the bottom thermal layer. Let me rub it down to make sure that it's secure. Now I have to carefully make sure I only peel the very thin plastic layer. Here we are. It's only the thin protective film I'm peeling off. Now I take my first SSD drive, insert it into the electrical contacts socket, push it in slightly. The sound clicks when it's secure. Turn the Easy Latch Plus counterclockwise. Push it back and that is now secure. Take the heatsink for the M2C-CPU. Peel off the protective film. Slowly align the tongue into the slot. When the tongue is inserted correctly into the slot at the front, push down gently, turn the easy latch click clockwise, and then push down gently and see that the easy latch click is fully secured in lock position. With the first SSD drive installed into the M2C-CPU connector, I will now install the second SSD drive into the M2A-CPU connector. Slot it into the electrical contact socket. There will be a click when it's secure. Turn the easy latch plus lock clockwise. Push down on the SSD and then return the lock and ensure that it is now secure. I do not have any other SSD drives to connect, so I'll reinstall the top heatsink plate. Align the two slots to the two screws. Turn the easy latch click clockwise. Push down slightly. Ensure that the lock is now secure. So now I have my two SSD drives installed. Having now installed all the hardware to build my Beast PC number 3 computer, I will now configure the BIOS settings so that I can set up RAID 1 configuration for this pair of SSD drives. At this point in time, I will not be making performance changes to the BIOS settings. Merely want to get the BIOS ready to accept the two SSD drives in a RAID 1 setup. What I will do, however, is I will change the time. I will be using this instruction from Gigabyte to set up RAID 1 for the Z790 motherboard. Go to Settings, select I/O ports, select SATA configuration. I don't actually understand why, given the fact I'm not using SATA but NVMe, but I'll follow through and see what happens. Instruction says to make sure SATA controller is enabled, and that's this. Yes, it is enabled. Then it says to create RAID configuration, go to Settings, I/O ports, VMD setup. So I'll click on Settings again, go to I/O ports, go to VMD setup menu, enable VMD controller, set it to enable. So it is now set to enable, and where it says enable VMD global mapping, it's presently set on enable. I have to change it to disable. So this has been changed to disable. Then it says depending on the SATA/M.2 connector you use, set the corresponding map this root port under VMD item to enable. So here we are. Double click on this. This is map this root port under VMD. It is set to enable. I'm now supposed to reboot the system, so I will save, select save and exit setup. Save configuration and reset yes. So it actually tells me what I did, the changes that I made, and if I agree with it, then to yes, save the configuration and reset. Okay, it's rebooted. So the next step, go to Settings, I/O ports, select Intel Rapid Storage Technology. Intel Rapid Storage Technology. So under this menu, it says there are two non-RAID physical disks. They are the two Western Digital SSD drives I've installed, so that's correct. What I'll do next is select Create RAID Volume. I can give the RAID volume a name. I'll select and give it a name. I will call this RAID volume Beast PC 3 Volume 1. Click OK to select. For RAID level, it shows the default is RAID 0, which is stripe. I'll click on this and I'll change it to RAID 1 mirror because I want protection, not speed. Click to accept. It now shows RAID 1 mirror. Double click on the first disk, brings it up. I'll just click on this. That shows it's selected. You see an X in the bar here. Go to the second disk, double click on it, select X, double click. And now the two disks are selected to form the RAID 1 configuration. Now I'll go to Create Volume. And it says create a volume with the settings specified above. I'll double click. Brings up RAID volumes, Beast PC 3 _ volume 1, RAID 1, 1.8 terabyte normal. I'll double click on it. So the RAID volume has been created as a RAID 1 mirrored pair. And it says the status is normal and it is bootable. So that's good. Press escape to go back. So that was it. That's simple. I will see if there's some minor changes I'll make before I install Windows 11 Pro. I'll select USB configuration. It says legacy USB support is enabled. I can disable it or auto. In auto option, it disables legacy support if no USB devices are connected. whereas disable option will keep USB devices available only for EFI applications. I'll try auto. Everything else I'll keep. Escape to go back. Network stack configuration. I will keep it disabled because enabling it will enable booting from the network and I do not need that. NVMe configuration. Interesting, it says no NVMe devices found. Maybe that is because it has been set up as a RAID configuration. SATA configuration. I do not have any SATA drives. I think that's it. I will save and exit. So I'll save this configuration and reset. Now that I've configured the BIOS to have RAID 1 for the 2 SSD drives, it is now time for me to install my Windows 11 Pro. So this is the install software for the Windows 11 Pro 64-bit USB drive. I'll stick it into the computer USB socket and then reboot the computer. It's reading from the USB drive, that's good. So it's booting up. Excellent. Language to install: UK English, time and currency format, English Australia, keyboard and input method, US keyboard. Enter language and preferred preferences. Click next or finish. Click next. Click on install now. It says to activate Windows and the product key looks like that. So I have the product key in the card form with the package. I shall enter the product key now. I've entered the complete product key and I'll click next. It says applicable notices and license terms. Supposed to read all that. I'll accept the Microsoft license terms. What type of installation do I want? It's not an upgrade, so it'll be a customized install. It says where do you want to install Windows? Refresh to see if it sees the RAID drive. Couldn't find any drives. I wonder why. I'm guessing I need to load the Intel Rapid Storage Technology device drivers. I've put all the Gigabyte Z790 AORUS Pro X drivers into this USB drive. I'll insert this into the USB socket on the computer. See if I can install the RAID driver. So I'll click load driver, click browse. This is the USB drive with the drivers. I'll open that up. It will be under this Gigabyte Z790 AORUS Pro X mobile folder. Drivers. It will be under this SATA RAID AHCI folder. Under the folder pre-installed driver, I'll search under this folder and try. Excellent, it's found several controllers. The instruction manual says to use this top driver, Intel RST VMD controller 467F. So that's driver to use. I'll click next. It's installing that driver. So that's worked. It's identified the RAID drive as 1.8 terabytes free space. I will select this drive to install Windows and click next. Success. Good, it's progressing. It's copying Windows files. Excellent. Gee, that is fast using SSD drives. It's now progressing, getting files ready for installation. It's rebooting, but with SSD drives, reboot is so fast. It asks, is this the right country or region? Australia is correct. I'll say yes. Is this the right keyboard layout? I'll say United Kingdom. Correct. Yes. It asks, do you want to add a second keyboard? I'll skip. It says, let's connect you to a network. I don't have a network connected. Seems to require it. I've now connected the computer by Ethernet to my router. I can press next. It's checking for updates. Looks like it's rebooting. I will call it Beast PC3. Press next. It asks, how would you like to set up this device? Set up for personal use or set it up for work or school? It is for personal use and I have full control over this device. I have a Microsoft account, so I will sign in to my Microsoft account. It sent a code to my email account to punch in. I've entered it. Seems to be successful. It says welcome back. That's excellent. I'll click on more options. I have a Dell laptop, a Beast PC2. I don't want restore from any other computer. I want to set this up as a new computer, so I'll choose setup as a new PC. It wants me to create a pin from my Microsoft account, so I'll create a pin. I've entered the pin. I'll click OK to progress. Ask me to choose privacy settings. Want to provide me location-based information? I'll say no. Find my device? No, because this is desktop computer. Send info about websites I'm browsing? No. Inking, typing? No. Tailor experience? No. Advertising ID? No. I will accept the changes I made. Says let's customize your experience. Development? No. Entertainment? Click yes. Gaming? Yes. Creativity? I'll say yes. Business? No. Connect family? No. I'll accept the changes I made. To use your phone from your PC, for Android phones, scan the QR code. So I will scan the QR code, open it on my phone, and I'll enter this code into the application on my phone, which has come out from scanning the QR code, so that my phone is now linked to this Windows OS. So my Microsoft account and phone are now linked. Click next. Always have access to your recent browsing data. I'll say not now. Get your first month of PC Games Pass. I'll say skip for now. It's now checking for updates. This might take a few minutes. Don't turn off your PC. Alright, it looks like it's finished installation. Excellent. So it's the bare desktop. That's success. I have the option to download and install GIGABYTE-Control-Center. Would I like to install it? I'll say yes. So it's downloading the GIGABYTE-Control-Center software. Welcome to GIGABYTE-Control-Center 23.10.23.01 setup. I'll click next. Whatever is the license agreement, I'll say I agree. It's finished the setup. Click finish. Installation successful. That's it. Project success. I'm so pleased. This will be a much faster, better computer for me to use, especially for my video editing. Hi, I'm hiding behind the computer equipment. It has been a very successful installation project for me and I have enjoyed doing it very much. I like this MSI MPG GUNGNIR 300p computer case. I think it's brilliant. It's got a lot of fans and that is always good. And the fans are very silent. I've installed a MSI GeForce RTX 4060 Ti VENTUS 3X graphics card and I still have lots of space. I've installed the GIGABYTE Z790 AORUS Pro X revision 1.0 motherboard. I like the quality of the motherboard and I've been able to connect all the cabling from the computer case to the motherboard connectors. I've installed quantity 2 of the Western Digital SN850X NVMe solid-state drives. And with this motherboard, CPU and the solid-state drives, installing Windows 11 Pro was so fast. To provide power to the computer, I've installed an ANTEC NE1000G M ATX3.0 power supply unit. I will have more than ample clean power supply for my computer. To provide cooling for the Intel i9-14900K CPU, I have installed the TherMALTAKE TOUGHLIQUID 360 ARGB Sync 3-fan radiator cooler. It's installed to the top of the case, and the fans are very quiet. I do hope you found the selection of the components I used for this computer and the build-up of the system interesting and useful. Do hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more and help the channel grow. Thank you so much.